Joker 2 to be based on the Three Jokers? Huh. Well, that's the rumor about the source material that the Joker sequel is looking at. So, the initial Joker is derives more from Taxi Driver and King of Comedy, of course, and his look and style and themes and whatnot. But the elements of what can be seen from Batman comics material was largely the Killing Joke, where you had this character. He's never named. Of course, the movie names him as Arthur Fleck, but that he was a struggling comedian. And he wasn't really any good at it and that sort of thing. And then, well, everything goes off the rails. His wife dies. He gets involved with the criminal gang. And, oh, boy, he runs into Batman and gets knocked into the chemicals that transforms him into a clown. Well, of course, there wasn't going to be any Batman or any of that. But the element that he wanted to be a comedian was there. So you take that point and understand that's a pretty small element of it. Yeah, he's a downtrodden guy. He's beaten down. He's really small and insignificant to society at large, and he's abused and all this stuff, and beaten at times and all this. And he has this horrible upbringing, and his mother's completely insane, and all, just on and on and on. And so that's the other similarity. Probably Arthur Fleck had it even worse than the Joker character in Killing Joke, except for the death of his wife, and which was which pushed him over the edge and that sort of thing. But the themes and elements, you can see the similarities there. So keep that in mind when we go to this new rumor that Mikey Sutton, Geekosity, talked about, and then Bounding in the Comics talked about it as well. That this is some of the material that they're looking to for inspiration. So all these comic book movies stuff are largely, they're adaptions, and you can have a certain amount of understanding to it that there is an awful lot of material and connectivity over decades of stories, in some cases, with these superhero comics, that you could never really get it all done in a film, even a trilogy or what have you. And so you try to take elements of it and you come together and you try to present the core of it. And some do well, and others fail completely, and it's an entirely different movie. It's a different character. Everything's it's like it's just the title and that's it, and everything else is completely gone. But with Joker, it was this interesting experiment with it, and they managed to pull off a good film doing that. More times than not, that's not what happens. You know, it was like the Fantastic Four films and all that sort of thing, and Captain Marvel and all that. But here you had something that was interesting. So, boy, can lightning strike twice. And because Joker comes across as a film that's meant to be a standalone. Now, Todd Phillips and Joaquin Phoenix did say that they enjoyed this that they did, and so that's their interest in a possible sequel, but you got to come up with the idea for it. So what could it be? So the rumor says they're looking at the Three Jokers. Well, how would they do that? Now, a lot of people praise Three Jokers. I don't think it's that good. It has the trappings and whatnot. This is a similar take that Jeff Johns did with Doomsday Clock, which fizzles at the end. Has a lot of cool things about it. And Three Jokers, the same thing. But the ending where the Batman knew all along and all that, and it's like, well, then why was he so puzzled? But he just needed to know who the imposters were, I guess. So what are the elements there? So there really is only one Joker, but the other two, he turned them into Jokers. And also you had the problem there of Batman. It didn't dawn on him that in some instances he was dealing with another Joker, not the main one. And he never caught on until the Mobius chair told him that it was, it's like Jeff Johns had one idea and changed it to something else. Midstream wanted it to be so he did a sequel to The Watchmen, so now he's going to do a sequel to Killing Joke, and I don't know. But anywho, even though in Killing Joke, Batman openly admits, I don't know him, I have no idea who this man is, and yet Three Jokers, now he figured out who he was after his first case. But he doesn't say anything about it because he's protecting the Joker's family. Because surprise, in the Killing Joke shows that the Joker's wife died. Well, she didn't. She was very much aware that he had mental problems. She didn't want to raise a child with him, and so she left and basically faked her death, I guess. And so that was that. Sorry if I spoiled it for you, but yeah, that's. But still, the idea that there are other Jokers. So one of the elements of Joker was like, well, God, how does this play into the Batman story? Because Bruce Wayne is in there. His father plays a prominent role in it, Thomas Wayne, and all that. So it would suggest that at some point there will be a Batman. So then the idea was that, well, then Arthur Fleck is this deranged character who has this big event that happens after he murders the talk show host, becomes an inspiration for the actual Joker later on. So that's one element of it. So there you get one. And then they could derive from that this guy has an influence on other broken people. And so it moves to someone else going through the same thing. So it's possible Joaquin Phoenix may not even be in the film. It'll be some other guy. How you make that work, I don't know, but it's just the idea of someone becoming obsessive about this and becoming a copycat. That might be the plot that they'll go with. So I don't know. I've got my little image here. Obviously, Heath Ledger's Joker could not. But that's the thing of how Three Jokers did. They represented the different eras of the Joker. His original appearance, his later appearance, and then the one they have for the current iteration of DC Comics. And that's what they did. So would you have other Jokers reminiscent of the cinematic Jokers? Well, of course, there's Jack Nicholson. I didn't think of that. There's even Cesar Romero. Would you throw that in? So I just put here, Joaquin Phoenix, Heath Ledger, and Jared Leto, who have been the more recent versions of the Joker. Unfortunately, Heath Ledger has passed away, but so I don't know that they would actually have someone dress up as him, to just look like him, that kind of thing, and draw inspiration from it, and it would be a nod towards it. But I'm thinking the sequel would be just one Joker, but it's possible that Joaquin Phoenix would be a character that hands the torch off to someone else, or it's just going to utilize that this was a guy who saw that and becomes inspired by it. I don't know if that's the makings of a really good film or not. I had thought that it's because they did ripoffs of Taxi Driver and King of Comedy. They just say, well, rip off One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. And it's Joaquin Phoenix taking over the Arkham Asylum and stuff like that. But this might be something they're doing, and I'm guessing it's more in the nod that this will be a new actor playing the role, and that you'll have a copycat Joker, which may involve a more original story than the first one, but I don't know. I don't know how well that's gonna go, because Joaquin Phoenix really stole the show there, and then you bring up a movie, it's not him. Yeah, but then again, maybe he's in there. But all we've heard is a story that Todd Phillips is working on the script. Not even that he's directing it. I don't know, but that he has some involvement. Warner Brothers wants a sequel to it, so there will be a sequel, I guess. But that doesn't mean it's going to be as good as the original, which I think is a tall order to try to achieve. But well, we'll see. But apparently that's one of the elements that they're looking at as inspiration for a story. It obviously in no way would it be a direct adaptation of it, and all that. But still, yeah. It is what it is.
Thanks for watching and listening. Say, while you're still here, why not like and subscribe and share with your many friends? Yes. Also, check out my mini stores in the link description below. Yes, where you can get t-shirts, hats, mugs, all those goodies with my artwork on them. Oh, yeah. And head over to indieplanet.com and pick up a copy of my comic book, Night Night. Oh, yeah. You can also catch me at my podcast, Mr Nailsin Show, on RadioMisfits.com. And you can also watch my videos on BitChute.com and now on Rumble.com. Oh, my goodness. So many places to watch me and my stuff. Oh, yeah. And if that's not enough for you, well, you can follow me on many social media platforms and say hi to your old pal, Mr. Nailsin.